Hello everybody, our board game is a game called Pandemic where you play cooperatively as a team trying to fight against the deck. The goals of the game are to remove all 4 diseases that are popping up over the world and win before you run out of objective time. How the game works, when you start up, you get to choose your role. You have a choice between these 6 roles, as you can see. The medic is a wonderful choice, so is the dispatcher. We're just going to go with 2 roles for now, just so you can see how that looks. Okay, so it's now player 1's turn, the medic. When you start off the game, you get the setup phase where 9 cities in total are infected. 3 of them 3 times, 3 of them 2 times, and 3 of them once. So now you can see that. Here your hands popped up. You can see these are the 4 cards in your hand. The color corresponds to the city. Both players are currently at Atlanta, where players spawn. At the beginning of the game, you have 4 actions that you can do. This includes movement, curing cities, creating research stations, using cards, and any such action as that, as well as the special abilities for each class. So we'll just show you some of the basic functionality. First of all, the player can move from city to city. You can see that I've moved the medic from Atlanta to Paris, which is 4 action moves. At the end of each turn, the infection rate determines how many cities are infected. Currently, the infection rate is 2. Essen was infected, as was Sydney. So now, if you look at Essen and Sydney at the end of this turn, wherever those are, I don't even know. Well, anyways, Essen, there it is, has 1 now, and there's Sydney, has 1 as well. Okay, so now it's the dispatcher's turn. The dispatcher has a special ability. While he can control himself, he can also control the medic, moving the medic from city to city. Now we've got a problem. If you look, there was an epidemic, which I'm assuming means that one of the cities with the 3s on them, with 3, was infected. Now Moscow, the first city to be infected during the infect stage at the beginning of the game, is pulled out from the bottom and is infected 3 times. Seoul was infected, and Jakarta was infected as well. So now, as you can see, Moscow has been infected 3 times, and then Seoul and Jakarta were both infected once. These are all functional abilities. Currently, the medic is here at Paris, and the medic's special ability is to cure all 3 disease cubes, or as many as are at the city at once. So we're gonna do that. Let's see. Alright, there we go. The city's down to 0. I'm feeling a lot better about this city. Let's make our way to Milan and cure that one as well. And then, I'm thinking this is kind of dangerous over here in Tokyo. I think I'm going to use this card to fly to Seoul. So if I click the card, my only option at my current location is City Flight. So I'm going to fly there. I'm flying to Seoul now, and here I am. London was infected, as was Tehran, and now the medic's turn's over. It's the dispatcher's turn, so I'm going to have him cure San Francisco, and then I'm going to have him head to Tokyo as well, and cure 1 token on Tokyo. Now, I have more than 7 cards, so I have to discard one of my cards. If you'll see, I've got 8 cards here, so I'm going to choose to discard Bangkok because that's the only one I have of the red color, so I'm not quite matching those yet. Okay, so Taipei was infected, so was Kolkata, and I discarded the Bangkok card. It's now the medic's turn again. So, now that we're both over here on this side, I can cure Seoul, I can cure Tokyo, and then I think I'm going to use another one of my cards. I want to show you building a research station, so I'm going to make my way to New York. I'm going to fly to London this turn. Epidemic has occurred. Wonderful. Santiago infected 3 times. Gotta discard a card. Gotta love this. Okay. Atlanta was infected. Everything's getting infected. Oh goodness. Well, okay. It is now the dispatcher's turn, so I'm going to move the medic to New York, which is where I wanted him. And then I'm going to go back to the dispatcher and come and cure Taipei. I've got to discard 2 more cards, so I'm going to get rid of Algiers. And I'm going to get rid of Tehran. Okay. So, here we are. We're back at the medic's turn. I've got the New York card, so I'm going to show you this. when I'm at the city, I have two options. They're to build a research station or to use a charter flight. Now, I'm going to build a research station because I also can do a charter flight this turn. So, research station. Okay, so now if you'll notice, this city is now darker. When a city becomes darker, it indicates that a research station has been built at that location, which means when you go to develop the cure, you have to go to one of those cities. I'm going to go to Madrid now, and I'm going to use my Madrid card to do a charter flight. My options again are charter flight and research station. When you use a charter flight, it allows you to fly from this city to any other city of my choice. I'm going to choose Johannesburg. Actually, no, I'll choose Moscow because Moscow looks pretty dangerous right now. So I'm going to fly to Moscow. And then I've got one more move left, so I'm going to cure Moscow. Oh, look at that. I got an airlift card. This is wonderful. So now we've got a special ability card. First off, what I'm going to do, I'm noticing I'm getting closer to getting a black cure, so maybe I'm going to get rid of Madrid because I've already been discarding a lot of blue cards. Okay, end of the medic's turn. It's now the dispatcher's turn. Wonderful. I think I'm going to go, let's see, kind of worried about this down here, as with this, so I'm actually going to take a city flight over to Lima and go down and cure Santiago. Let's get rid of Tokyo. Okay, so now we're back at this player. Now we've got the airlift card, so why don't we show you how a special ability card works. I'm going to use the airlift card, and now it's going to allow me to fly to Johannesburg. I can use the airlift card to fly from any city. Wonderful. So now Johannesburg is safe, and I can go and I can cure Lagos as well. Epidemic has occurred again. Soul infected 3 times. Yay. Okay. So you get the point. Those are a lot of the major functionality things have already been seen. Another special role is the researcher. The researcher has the ability to hand off or take any cards from any players while in their city. As you can see, I've got these 3 cards right now, Essen being the blue one. I'm going to click on that card and choose as the option not City Flight, but give Essen away to Scientist, who is the other role in the city. Once I've given the card to them, it disappears from my hand. I can move around for the rest of my turn. But as soon as I end the turn, then you can see it's now the Scientist's turn. I've gotten the card, Essen, from the Researcher. Now if you'll notice, I have 4 cards of the same color. Normally you would need 5 to make the cure, but because I'm the Scientist, it will only take 4, so a Cure Disease button appears. I now have the ability to create the cure, so I'm going to choose these 4 blue cards, and now the cure for blue has been created. So the Cure Disease button has disappeared, and we now have a cure for the blue disease, which means all characters act like the medic in the way that they cure cities. So I'm going to airlift to Madrid, so you can see I've just removed all 3 disease cubes from the city just like the medic would. That was using my special ability card as well. I'm going to use One Quiet Night, so tonight there won't be any infections. And now I can continue on with my turn, and at the end of my turn, it's now the Researcher's turn, and no cities were infected.